Hello guys, Craig from fixitfallows. Today we are in the master bedroom and we are looking at the ensuite door, and in particular we are looking at the latch mechanism here. So we have a door handle with a deadlock at the bottom and the latch there, and what seems to be happening is the latch mechanism is getting a little bit stuck at times, to the extent that when the door is shut, whomever's using the bathroom thinks the door's shut and latched on properly, but the latch mechanism hasn't sprung out, and it only takes a small breeze through the window or an air vent and it will push this door open, much to the surprise to whomever's using the bathroom. So let's get into it and have a look, shall we? Okay, here you see the thumb turns the deadlock, no problem at all, that's good. But the latch, as you see, I push it in, but it doesn't come all the way back out, it's getting stuck a bit. So you have to pull it back out. Okay, first thing to do is to remove the thumb turn. There's a little grub screw underneath, so we just undo that and it slides off. There you see. And then we just need to slide out the deadlock spindle from the other side. There we are. And now we can set about undoing the two fascia screws from the door handle there, so we can remove the door handle. Okay, so now we can pull off the door handle like this, and we can pull out the door handle spindle. Now we just need to undo the two screws that hold in the whole lock mechanism into the door. Now, using a pair of mole grips or pliers, I just grab hold of the latch itself and we can pull out the whole lock mechanism from the door. Okay, so here's the door lock out of the door, down on the workshop table. I don't know if you've seen these before, but these locks or latches are actually reversible, as this label here tells you. To reverse bolt, remove the two retaining screws, rotate the bolt or latch and replace the screws. That is if your door's hinged one way, but you might be hinged the other way and you want the latch to latch on from the other direction. So you just take that brass coloured wedge shaped bit out using those two screws, flip it around and put it back in. Okay, the label does also say do not open case. That's a shame because I'm about to open the case. Okay, so this is the bit we're having the problem with. It's connected to this silver coloured plate that slides back and forth. It's sprung loaded on this spring here. Doesn't appear to be greased in any way. That probably doesn't help matters too much. Okay, so when you turn the knob, it rotates this and either that lug or that lug. When you turn the handle, yeah, look, you turn the handle and it pulls the latch back. This is the deadbolt. Okay, so How does that work? Let's take the spring out for a moment. That goes in there. Okay, like that. How does the spring work? Okay, so the spring for the deadbolt works by going around this lug here, like so. This end is located against this screw turret, and then the long side goes down this side of this key. So when the small square profile bar is passed through there and turns, the spring gets pressurized back, the deadbolt gets pulled back, and then this key here falls into this natural position with the spring holding it in place, so you get that nice definitive ka-dung. And then we go back the other way, you get a ka-dung. Like. Anyways, the deadbolt wasn't my problem, it was the latch. So anyway, we know we can put all this back together, so we'll just move that to the side at the moment. We'll give that a clean up and put some fresh grease on it. Might as well take that out of there. Let's see what we can do to make this a little easier. So let's unload the spring. Like that. Off it comes. And there we are, just lifts out. So let's give it a bit of a clean and a bit of grease and see what happens. Okay, a bit of this gear should do. So let's apply a little bit on there. Put it back into position. Like so. Bit more. Okay. Spring. Maybe if we bend the spring back a bit, maybe re-energize it a little bit. Put it around the screwdriver and then just bend it back. Okay. Put a little bit of grease on this. Put that into position. Right, let's see if I can remember where that spring went, eh? There we go, so it's all back in place. The shorter part of the spring is low down. It's low right down to the base there and pushes against this side plate. The long bit of the spring hooks under the sliding section here, and there you see we're getting a constant return. no catching or hooking. That looks like an improvement to me. Now just grease up the deadlock section. So, from what I can see, there is no friction on any of those plates there against the top section, so it's just a simple case of putting the plate back over like so. Before I screw it up, let's just see that everything slides. It does. And just test the deadlock. Yeah. Get that nice reassuring out, in, out, in. All good. Let's bolt it back together. Give it a wipe. There we go. Returns every time now. No failure whatsoever. We have one fixed latch. Just going to go put it back in the bathroom door. Okay, so just to put it all back together is the reverse of how we took it off. So the whole lock mechanism slides into the rebate and the door, like so. We take the two screws and place in here. Now we take the deadbolt locking mechanism. You'll notice on this that I ground a little flat spot onto this when I originally installed it. That is to enable better keying of the little grub screw onto that bar. I think when I installed it originally, I found that the grub screw protruded far too far. Sometimes you just caught your finger on it, so just ground off a little section there. That allows for that grub screw to tighten down a bit closer for a more flush fit to the barrel of that thumb term there. So anyway, let's slide that in. Now you need to take note of how you want your thumb screw turn to be positioned on the other side. So I'll have the ground section facing downwards, and it goes. There it is from the other side. Then with the grub screw at the bottom there, that will go onto that flat point. Now for the main spindle to go through to the main handle, slide that in. Now the handle can go back over like so. Now just to screw that back in position. Screw it in by fingers first. You might want to just get that thumb screw back in before you tighten this plate back up, just in case the positioning of that dictates the overall position of the handle. There we go. Slide that back over just like that. I can tighten that up in a second. I'm now using a flathead screwdriver that's just about the perfect fit for that particular screw head. Also, what you need to take care of is not slipping and then running your screwdriver down the front of this nicely polished door handle and ruining the whole aesthetics of it all. So I like to do things a little bit slower. Just hold my fingers in place in case the screwdriver slips out. Try and protect the surface of that plate. And it might be OCD, but I like to have all my slot heads on the truly vertical, like so. For whatever reason, I don't like to leave them on the horizontal. I like to have them on the vertical. And I do that on all my door handles around the door, out around the house. There we go, that's back on. Obviously it will need a clean in a minute. Just to do up that thumb screw. So making sure that the spindle's pushed all the way through from the other side. A bit of inwards pressure on this thumb screw. And then find that little grub screw. And there we go. Done up. And there we are. Door handle works. The latch is in and out. And the deadlock works. A little bit of a buff up. You can see the latch has gone securely into the strike plate. The door will no longer just come open. There we go. So I just push the door by hand, the latch hits the strike plate and latches into place. People can go in there and not have to worry to engage the latch or the deadlock, and not have to worry that an open window might inadvertently blow this door open as it was doing. All done. Right, so there you go, it's all fixed, good as new. No nasty surprises for whomever's using the ensuite anymore, well, not for the time being anyway. So thank you very much for watching, and once again I'd ask you please to subscribe. The more of you subscribe, the chances are you'll be helping me, and potentially I could do some bigger and more exciting things and bring you more information and more entertainment, and also check out my other videos. So thank you very much.